Mr. Steenhuisen won't admit to it, but he runs the Western Cape where I live. And the biggest murder rate is in the Cape Flats. The first time I met him, he was in the youth league with that gentleman. And look how he's changed. It's not only white farmers, it's across the board. Firstly, it's unemployment and illegal aliens. I've been against apartheid all my life, and I'm their number one target. Please just Google my name and Malema.
Comrades, there is a problem here. There is a guy called Johann Rubert who controls South Africa, who controls Ramaphosa, Tito Mboweni, Trevor Manuel, Jamnandas Godhan.
We told you about the Rubert. Today people speak about Rubert. The lazy media refuses to even play the videos, the old videos from 2008, when we spoke about the state capture by the Rubert and the Oppenheimers and how Cyril Ramaphosa is micromanaged by those people. Today, when these people say it, you report about it as if it's a new thing. We said it a long time ago.
Criminal here, Johann Rubert. If he loves this country and he wants this country to function, he must remove Pravin. Because Pravin is put there by Johann Rubert. It's not Cyril. Cyril has got no power. He's a puppet.
So it's been 35 years of ANC government. And I know there's a lot of anger, through the transition. There was always a lot of stuff happening in the apartheid days. We grew up in the apartheid era. But I don't think two wrongs makes a right.
Johann, please.
Mr. President, if you had to wind all of those tapes properly, you will see I'm the biggest target of that rabble-rouser. Number one for over 10 years, Mr. Malema. In fact, the first time I met him, he was in the youth league with that gentleman. And look how he's changed.
Right.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers, it's across the board. And we need technological help. We need Starlink at every little police station. We need drones. I actually got drones donated for the peace parks to stop elephant and rhino poaching. And his predecessor stopped the importation because he said the United States would spy on us. I mean, US basics, the ridicule. So if you can help us. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. 2 commissioners, a tough mayor. We need your help to stop this awful killing. But it's across the board. Ernie is right now building a house in George. I'm building 3 cottages for my grandchildren on a farm outside Graaff-Reinet. I often go to bed without locking the door. And we have a serious problem with illegal aliens who stream across the border. And if you really look at our statistics, a lot of these murders, firstly, it's unemployment and illegal aliens. And then I met Vice President Vance many years ago at Charlie Rose show. My wife loved his book. And she reminded me this morning that you emphasized the devastation that occurs when big companies leave towns and cities, and there's a culture of dependency that develops. I remember you discussing it. Now that's our problem. If we don't get our economy to grow, the culture of dependency and the lawlessness will increase. I've been against apartheid all my life, and I'm their number one target. Please just Google my name and Malema. You'll see it, sir.
Yeah.
He marched on the
But the
farm.
crime is bad.
The crime is terrible, sir, but Mr. Steenhuisen won't admit to it, but he runs the Western Cape where I live. And the biggest murder rate is in the Cape Flats. Gangs. We've got gang warfare. Like your M33 or whatever, these guys. We've got equivalents there. But we need your help, sir. And we need Elon technology.
Well, one of the real areas of support is really in investments. We've got to grow our economy, because through growing the economy, we're then able to create more jobs. Because crime really thrives where there is inequality and unemployment. And that is one of the reasons that has brought us here, to improve our investment relations, our trade relations, so that we can preserve the number of jobs that your companies have created in South Africa. By virtue of what we export to you, we are able to create up to 500,000 jobs in the auto industry, in the agricultural industry, and a number of other industries, mining, where we export things to you. And we also know that as South African companies invest here, you are also able to create jobs. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So our main real reason for being here is to foster trade and investment, so that we are able to grow our economy with your support, and so that we are also able to address all these societal problems, because criminality thrives when people are unemployed, when they have no other hope to eke out a living. So that is what we need to resolve, and your support, your partnership with us is what is really going to give us a strong capability to move forward.
Yes, and Monan, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My goodness, it's finally happening. So the meeting actually started off very well, unexpectedly well. I was actually surprised by the respect the United States gave to our president as well as his delegates. I was shocked. In fact, it definitely wasn't on my bingo list. Okay, now it all just, I think it all just went south when the other delegates started speaking, or the ministers rather, and as well as Rubert. We all know Rubert is sort of like not in politics per se, but he is involved, but he's not really in politics. But as soon as he opened his mouth, the first thing that went to my head was like, when there's family meetings and you don't know what this person is about to say, who's going to say, or how they're going to behave, because they don't answer to anyone, honey, and they can just say anything to anyone. And when he started like speaking to ministers like he was speaking to little boys, like Malema said, I was like, what? Because guys, we must remember that those people were supposed to be united and actually speak one language. Okay? There was no need whatsoever to be telling Donald Trump about Cape violence, to be telling Donald Trump about, things that, one, he has no control over, because even our own government has no control over. Two, things that are going to make us look bad, especially if the president himself is, talking about looking into investments. And here comes these people talking about violence. Did they lie? Of course they did not. But I just don't think that it was a good idea for them to raise that in such a meeting, especially if they are looking into actually correcting or rectifying the relationship between the United States and South Africa, as well as looking into investments, hoping that trying to get the United States to invest in South Africa. Obviously, that's going to boost our economy, not only that, but also create jobs, which is good for our country. So I don't know if certain things were really supposed to be raised. I think our president rehearsed his speech quite well, but I don't think others were ready, for the meeting. I don't think they were prepared, or they prepared for the meeting. Others, they were okay, but Rubert was like, you don't have to talk to people like that, even if you have the money, especially our ministers, even if they are doing a fuck up job, but you correct them. Other things were definitely not supposed to make it to media. I do think that these people are definitely going to have their own private session, where they really have deep conversations. Obviously, most of them are business people. Rubert is a business man. Cyril Ramaphosa is a businessman. Donald Trump is a businessman. Elon Musk is a businessman looking into negotiate his Starlink, and he doesn't want to give any shares. But these are business people, and I'm sure they are going to have their private session where they literally just discuss their own personal business. So I feel like some of the things they could have discussed them privately, because we're not when these people are raising such things, I don't know, man. I think they I don't know if they are not aware that the crimes, the violence they're talking about, it's happening there as well in America. They were reporting to the principal's office, but it's also happening in America. It's also happening in America. Now, Rubert really does seem to have much respect for Donald Trump, where he's even addressing him as sir. So respect does exist in his genes, just that he's refusing to give respect to ministers. He is just calling them out right there and there, honey. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Nizomenzani, he controls our economy. Nizomenzani, the richest man in the country. Nizomenzani controls the media. Nizomenzani not controls, runs the media. But yeah, man, that was just distasteful. Honestly speaking, that was just distasteful to watch. Our ministers being belittled like that. It wasn't pleasant to watch. Anyway, do let me know, guys, what you think in the comment section down below.